Today in Tesla, it's Thursday, February 20th, 2025. We've got a lot to unpack today, from Tesla's performance in those really strong EV markets to their potential expansion, into India and even some concerns about worker safety.
It certainly looks to be a dynamic time for Tesla. Let's dive in.
Okay, so starting with Scandinavia, you wouldn't believe how electric vehicle adoption is booming there. Denmark is leading the charge with a 64% EV adoption rate, jumping up from 35% just last year. And Norway is holding strong at an incredible 96%.
Those are some impressive numbers, and they show just how rapidly the automotive landscape is changing. But what I find intriguing is that amidst this EV surge, Tesla is actually seeing a decline in sales in these very markets.
That is surprising. Do we know why that's happening?
Well, in Norway, the Model Y saw sales plummet by 81% compared to December, and Tesla's overall sales in Denmark are down 50% year over year. There are a few possible factors at play here. Some analysts suggest that buyers might be waiting for an updated Model Y, while others point to the strong performance of competitors like the Toyota BZ4X, which outsold Tesla in both Denmark and Norway in January.
So it sounds like Tesla's facing some real competition, even in regions known for embracing EVs. Now, what about their plans in India? I hear Elon Musk is interested in tapping into that market.
That's right. India is the world's third largest auto market and represents a significant opportunity for Tesla, especially as they navigate shrinking profit margins and increasing competition from Chinese manufacturers like BYD. The India government appears receptive to Tesla's potential entry, but this move has sparked some criticism, particularly from former President Trump, who has called it unfair to the United States.
It seems like Tesla's global ambitions are coming with some political pushback. And let's not forget about the existing competition within India's auto market, with companies like Tata Motors and Mahindra already well established there.
Absolutely. Successfully entering a new market like India is a complex endeavor, and it will be interesting to see how Tesla approaches those challenges. Now, shifting gears to a more serious topic, Tesla is also dealing with some safety concerns.
I read about that. It sounds like there have been multiple workplace safety violations, especially at their Gigafactory in Texas.
Yes, and these violations have drawn scrutiny from Congressman Greg Casar, who is demanding greater transparency from Tesla. This concern is heightened by a tragic incident at the Texas Gigafactory where an electrician was fatally electrocuted.
That's a stark reminder of the importance of workplace safety, especially as Tesla continues its rapid expansion and pushes the boundaries of manufacturing.
Indeed. Balancing ambitious growth with ensuring worker safety is a crucial challenge for any company, and Tesla's situation highlights the importance of prioritizing both. Now, on a different note, Tesla is also making strides in technology, particularly with their Supercharger network and their full self-driving system.
Oh, right. I heard they're finally launching a virtual queuing system for their Superchargers. That's great news for Tesla owners who are tired of those charging rage incidents.
Exactly. This new system will allow drivers to see their place in line, estimate their wait time, and receive notifications when a charging spot opens up. This should help alleviate congestion and frustration at charging stations.
It sounds like a much-needed improvement, especially as the demand for EV charging continues to grow. And how about their full self-driving system? Any updates on that front?
Yes, Tesla's full self-driving FSD system is also progressing, with beta testers reporting improvements in parking, smoother turns, and more intelligent navigation. These advancements suggest that Tesla is continually refining their autonomous driving technology.
It's exciting to see these technological advancements, but at the same time, there seems to be growing concern about whether Elon Musk's involvement in other ventures like politics and Dogecoin might be distracting him from his role at Tesla.
That's a valid point. Some investors are worried that Tesla's leadership might be spread too thin, potentially impacting the company's focus and performance.
It'll be interesting to see how Tesla balances these different priorities moving forward. Now, let's talk about the company's image. It seems like Tesla's once glowing public perception might be facing some challenges.
You're right. Tesla's stock has been experiencing volatility, and there have been protests outside Tesla stores, some even fueled by Musk's support of Dogecoin.
Wait, protests about Dogecoin? That's interesting.
It might seem unusual, but it highlights how Musk's personal activities and opinions can have a ripple effect on the perception of Tesla as a brand. And then there's the situation in China, where Tesla has been winning lawsuits against customers who have criticized their cars.
Winning lawsuits against customers, that's a bold move.
This approach has sparked debate about whether Tesla is prioritizing brand protection over addressing customer concerns. It raises questions about censorship and how companies handle criticism in different cultural contexts.
It definitely seems like Tesla is navigating a complex landscape with challenges arriving from multiple directions. So what's the big takeaway here?
Well, Tesla's story is no longer simply about electric vehicles. It's intertwined with global trends, political dynamics, technological advancements, and even social activism. It's a story of innovation, ambition, and controversy, all playing out on a global stage.
And it's a story that's far from over. We'll continue to see how Tesla responds to these challenges and opportunities in the months and years ahead. Now, before we move on to other news, let's take a quick look at some legal battles Tesla is currently embroiled in, particularly in China.
You're referring to the lawsuits against customers who have criticized their vehicles.
Exactly. It seems like a very unusual situation. Can you shed some light on what's happening there?
Yeah, Tesla has been cracking down on what they deem as defamation in China. The Associated Press conducted an investigation and found that Tesla has been remarkably successful in these lawsuits, winning nearly all of them.
That's fascinating. It definitely raises questions about freedom of speech and corporate power, especially in a context like China.
It does make you wonder about the potential impact on Tesla's brand image, especially if it creates the perception that they're more focused on silencing critics than on addressing any underlying issues with their products.
You'd think they'd be more interested in engaging with customer feedback, even if it's negative, rather than taking such a strong legal stance.
Transparency and open communication are usually key to building trust with consumers. Now, let's pivot to a different story. Remember Nikola, the company that was once touted as a major competitor to Tesla in the electric trucking industry?
Oh yeah, I remember them. Haven't heard much about them lately, though. What's been happening over there?
Well, Nikola recently filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, burdened by over $1 billion in liabilities.
Wow, that's a significant downfall. What contributed to their financial troubles?
There were a number of factors, including the fraud conviction of their founder, Trevor Milton. It appears they struggled to secure the necessary funding and partnerships to scale their business effectively.
So what's next for Nikola? Are they going to completely disappear from the scene?
They're hoping to sell their entire business by April. They've reportedly attracted interest from at least 3 potential buyers, but no names have been disclosed. If they can't find a buyer for the whole operation, they'll likely have to sell off their assets individually to try to repay their creditors.
It's a stark reminder that even in a booming industry like electric vehicles, success is far from guaranteed.
It's a very competitive landscape, and navigating it successfully requires a combination of innovation, strategic planning, and financial stability.
Speaking of the evolving EV landscape, have you heard about Hyundai's recent decision to adopt Tesla's charging standard?
Yes, I read that Hyundai's 2025 Ioniq 5 will be using Tesla's North American Charging Standard, or NACS. That's a big win for Tesla, isn't it? It's a significant development. Hyundai's adoption of NACS is a strong validation of Tesla's technology.
Does this mean Hyundai owners will be able to use Tesla's supercharger network?
There are some limitations initially. The 2025 Ioniq 5 models with NACS ports will still use the older 400-volt charging architecture. To use Tesla's 800-volt superchargers, they'll need an adapter, which might result in slower charging times.
So it's not a perfect solution right away, but it seems like a positive step towards greater interoperability in the EV charging space.
Precisely. And Hyundai has stated that they intend to upgrade to a fully 800-volt compatible NACS system by 2026. This aligns with a broader trend in the auto industry where more and more manufacturers are recognizing the benefits of aligning with Tesla's charging standard to enhance charging accessibility for their customers.
It's a smart move for Hyundai, making their EVs more appealing to buyers who want a streamlined charging experience. Now, getting back to Tesla, let's discuss their new virtual queuing system for superchargers. It seems like a long overdue solution to those frustrating charging rage situations.
Absolutely. This feature has been highly anticipated by Tesla owners. It addresses a real pain point, especially as the demand for EV charging continues to grow.
Having experienced it myself, pulling up to a crowded supercharger station only to find all the stalls occupied can be incredibly annoying, especially when you're on a long road trip and eager to get back on the road.
Exactly. And the lack of a formal queuing system often led to people cutting in line or hogging chargers, creating unnecessary tension and frustration.
So how exactly will this virtual queue work?
It'll be integrated into the Tesla app and the car's software. Drivers will be able to see their position in the queue, estimate their wait time, and get notified when a charging spot becomes available. It aims to eliminate the guesswork and hopefully reduce those stressful encounters at charging stations.
It sounds like a simple but elegant solution, but it does raise a question: what about those non-Tesla EVs that are now using the supercharger network? Will they be able to take advantage of this virtual queuing system?
That's a great question, and unfortunately we don't have a clear answer yet. Tesla hasn't specified whether the virtual queue will be accessible to non-Tesla drivers.
That will be an important detail to watch as more and more EVs gain access to the supercharger network. If they want to truly address charging congestion, it would make sense to include all EV drivers in the system, regardless of the brand of car they drive.
It would create a more inclusive and efficient solution if everyone is on the same platform. Now, let's switch gears and talk about another area where Tesla is making progress, their full self-driving system.
I'm eager to hear about the latest developments there. Are they getting closer to achieving true full self-driving?
FSD version 13 is showing some remarkable improvements. Beta testers are reporting that the system is becoming more intelligent and smoother in its operations.
Can you give us some specific examples of these improvements?
For instance, the Autopark feature is performing much better. It's more accurate and dependable. Additionally, the system's decision-making at toll booths has improved, becoming more responsive and less prone to hesitation.
Those sound like very welcome enhancements. How about navigation? Is FSD becoming a better overall driver in terms of handling various road scenarios?
It's definitely heading in that direction. The system is now smoother in executing U-turns and more adept at handling unprotected left turns. Also, the AI-driven route optimization is becoming more sophisticated, enabling cars to choose more efficient routes that go beyond simply following pre-programmed GPS directions.
Those are some impressive advancements. But is it truly full self-driving yet? Can you really just relax and let the car handle everything?
Not quite. While FSD version 13 represents a significant step forward, it still isn't perfect and still requires human supervision and occasional intervention. For example, the system still encounters challenges with certain real-world situations like interpreting complex traffic dynamics or navigating snowy conditions.
So it's progressing, but it's not quite at the point of complete autonomy.
Exactly. However, the progress is undeniable, and Tesla is clearly pushing the boundaries of autonomous driving technology.
It'll be fascinating to observe how FSD continues to evolve in the coming months and years, and perhaps more importantly, how regulators will respond to these advancements. The path towards full autonomy is still controversial, and it'll be interesting to see how quickly governments embrace these technologies and allow them on public roads.
The regulatory landscape will play a crucial role in the development and adoption of self-driving vehicles.
It's a complex interplay between technology regulations and public perception. Now, while Tesla is forging ahead with technological innovations, they're also facing some pushback on the public relations front.
Yes, they're grappling with more than just lawsuits and regulatory hurdles. They're also navigating a more intricate and volatile public image.
What factors are contributing to this shift in perception?
There are several elements at play. Elon Musk's increasing involvement in politics has certainly polarized opinions. Some people admire his outspoken nature and his willingness to challenge the status quo, while others view him as a controversial figure whose views don't align with their own.
And it seems like those contrasting opinions are starting to influence how people view Tesla as a company.
That's a key observation. We're witnessing protests erupting outside Tesla stores, some of which are directly related to Musk's political stances or his support of Dogecoin.
Wait, people are protesting because of Dogecoin?
It might seem strange, but it reflects how some people perceive Musk's influence over the cryptocurrency market as irresponsible or even harmful.
It appears that Musk's persona and his various ventures are becoming more intertwined with the Tesla brand, both positively and negatively.
That's a crucial point. Tesla is no longer just about electric vehicles or self-driving technology. It's become closely associated with Elon Musk himself, with all the complexities that come with that association.
And those complexities included fair share of controversy. In fact, there was an incident where a Tesla store was targeted in a series of violent attacks.
Yes, this occurred in Salem, Oregon. A Tesla store was subjected to arson and gunfire.
Wow, that's alarming. Do we know what motivated those attacks?
The motive remains unclear. The FBI is involved in the investigation, but local authorities haven't released any details about the suspects or their reasons for targeting the Tesla store.
It's a disturbing reminder that even highly successful companies like Tesla can become targets of violence and vandalism.
These types of incidents can have a ripple effect, potentially damaging brand trust and even impacting sales.
It's a delicate balancing act for Tesla. They need to manage their public image carefully, especially as they become more intertwined with cultural and political debates.
They face the challenge of navigating these controversies without alienating their core customer base or jeopardizing their long-term growth.
It's a tall order. Now, shifting gears, there's an interesting development in the electric trucking sector, with another company making significant strides in the zero-emission space.
Are you referring to WattEv?
Yes, WattEv. They're making some impressive moves in sustainable transportation.
Yeah, WattEv just announced a deal to acquire 40 Tesla semi-trucks.
That's a pretty big commitment to electric trucking.
It is, and they've already received 2 Tesla semis, which they're using at the ports of Long Beach and Los Angeles.
That makes sense. Ports are known for their pollution, so electrifying those operations would have a big impact.
And WattEve is also upgrading their charging stations to handle megawatt charging, which is essential for these electric trucks.
It seems like they're building a whole ecosystem to support zero-emission freight transport.
They are. They're not just buying trucks, they're investing in the infrastructure and support needed to make it all work.
Okay, so we've talked about Tesla's global expansion, their safety challenges, their legal battles, their innovations, and the public's perception of them. It's been quite a roller coaster ride.
It has. Tesla's story is full of twists and turns, and it's unfolding against a backdrop of rapid technological change, geopolitical shifts, and evolving social values.
It's hard to predict what the future holds for them, but one thing's certain, they're never boring.
That's for sure. Whether you love them or hate them, you can't deny that Tesla is a force to be reckoned with. They're pushing the boundaries of what's possible, and they're forcing the entire auto industry to adapt and evolve.
It's an exciting time to be following the electric vehicle revolution, and Tesla is undoubtedly at the forefront of it.
And their journey is far from over. We can expect plenty more surprises, innovations, and controversies in the years to come.
See you tomorrow for another deep dive.